that the content and the lyrics in it are a little bit more poignant, yet they're also a little bit more palatable. They're not quite as I don't know, just the being really negative in the way that I say things. There's certain words that I would use before in my career where I would have no consideration of how I said it, versus nowadays where I really think about how I'm saying things and the way that it affects people. The consequences from lyrics, how does it inspire young listeners? What does it do to their life when they embrace some of these lyrics? Because believe it or not, culture and the arts affect the youth of America more than even their own parents do nowadays.
The first track on the album, Black Knight of the Universe, starts off with something that sounds a lot like almost like a War of the Worlds transmission, with Air Force One being shot down over the Middle East, and a whole host of government officials being missing, including the president. And also on the cover, and I don't know if we have a picture of the cover there that we can take a look at, but you've got President Bush right on the cover. You've got Bill and Hillary Clinton, the Defense Secretary, the Vice President, Condoleezza Rice in the background. They all seem to be in front of the, it looks like the Supreme Court building itself. Tell me a little bit about the album art and what was being thought of then.
Well, what I tried to display with this is that obviously the band has a mascot. His name is Vic, and he's standing at a podium, and on the side of the podium is the reverse 10 commandments, and you can see how you can buy your way out of committing any of those sins.
One is playing God, holy wars, disrespect, murder, adultery, theft, false testimony.
Each one has a price, and after watching Enron, Adelphia, WorldCom, seeing what Martha Stewart did, funny that you mentioned that in the lead-in, seeing how they got away with certain things and basically bought their way out of crimes. For me, I thought it's amazing. 10 years ago, we watched O.J. Simpson get off with what I believe was a murder that he committed. And I believe that the way that all went down, based on a police officer who had used a racial slur 4 years prior to that incident taking place and the court case being dismissed, the system's flawed. So what I did was I took a lot of the political parties and a lot of the representatives of the political parties and put them in positions where they looked in what they're most famous for. I believe the Clintons are opportunists, and the way that they're looking on the horizon towards 2008. So on and so forth. And you see some of the other people there. You've got some of the cabinet right now with their suitcases that say Plan B, Plan C.
It looks like Dick Cheney there with a Plan B suitcase.
Right. And it's because, they've got a backup plan and so on and so forth. If you look on the back of the cover, it shows a billboard that says that there's jurors for sale because,
50% off on the side of a bus.
Right. And one of those things that led me to say that was, I think it was the Enron case where one of the CEOs or the executives there had done some witness tampering. I'm not exactly sure which case it was, but they had intimidated one of the jurors because they'd found out who she was, where she lived, her family, and so on and so forth. And this is not new. This has been happening for years. So I just wanted to put all that there, and since this was basically the swan song for Megadeth before I go on in my career to do other things, I wanted to just kind of wrap it all up. It also shows on one side of the street that with all of these opportunists over here with Ted Kennedy's money just falling out of his pockets, you see just right across the street, right under their nose, is a homeless mother and child and an alcoholic man sleeping on the street.
You say moving on to a new area in your career. What other things would you like to accomplish?
Well, I produce, I write. I'm very comfortable with what I'm doing right now in my career, but I also know that there's plenty of opportunities for me out there. I'm really happy with the way the tour's going right now and the people that I'm playing with. I've never been happier. It's really interesting that I could be in a band for almost 20 years and break it up, completely dismantle it, and then handpick the people that I want to be with again and start up and have something that's even more exciting for me and more conducive to a healthy environment.
Front page of Guitar One magazine. Charles will hold it over here for you. Tell me a little bit about what they're acknowledging here by making you the cover man.
Well, it basically says that I'm still on top, and it's kind of sweet revenge because for a very long time there were a lot of people that were vying for that position, and after a while you're number two for so long you forget there's a number one, and I've always believed in my heart that I was the best at what I do. There's 3 rhythm guitar players in the world, I think, that play rhythm guitar like I do. That's the rhythm guitar player from AC/DC, the rhythm guitar player from Metallica, and me. And it's a craft that we influenced a lot of people, a lot of people, and to be able to be recognized by one of the greatest guitar magazines and saying that I'm still on top. I was honored. There's a poll in there. I was the #1 guitar player and stuff. I've never seen that kind of recognition from this magazine. And I looked at it and I thought, you know, I'm really going to have to pray harder now to try and not let this go to my head, because you know, I just want to stay grounded through this whole thing right now. I've been at the top with my career a very long time ago, and right now, with everything starting over again, it's just all fresh and new, and I just want to keep it so that I keep it in perspective with my priorities, with my family.
And enjoy it, certainly, while you can. Dave Mustaine, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.
Again, Megadeth album called The System Has Failed. We will take a quick break right now, but coming up, the B is for birthday. Sesame Street reaches a milestone.